It's a blessing to be here, man. I'm thankful because this room is a reflection of who we need to talk to in our community. A lot of times we don't get to have this interaction in our community. There's a such thing as book smart and then real world application. A lot of times in our community, you guys, the academic world, have good intentions, great intentions. You pass laws that you feel will help our community, but the boots on the ground piece and what really happens in the community is devastation. A lot of times, what I'm finding in the community is we got to come out of these rooms, and I need y'all to visit these kids that your decisions are affecting their lives. If we just look at statistics, if we just look at people as numbers, there's no human factor. That's what's going on. That's part of the problem when we're talking about policing in our community. Neither side is humanizing each other. We're looking at a cop as just being a cop, as just his job, but this cop is a father, their mother, their cousin, and the police officers in our community want to go home just as well as the community wants to be safe in their own community, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit. First, they wanted me to talk about my education. I went to Kosminski Elementary on 53rd and Ingleside. Up under everybody knows, they had a gifted kid program where they were sending us to private boarding schools. Now I'm 13 years old, and my dad tells me, well, first of all, I ducked the program because I only wanted to go to Kenwood. That was just my course. That's what I wanted to do. I'm in Hyde Park. I wanted to go to Kenwood. Kenwood was a great school and still is a great school in the city. And that's where I wanted to go. My dad worked on the Amtrak, so his route was from New Orleans to Chicago, so he'll be home 3 days and gone 3 days. So I'm thinking I'm slick. So I ducked the program. The teachers are coming for me. I'm getting straight A's. I'm like, nah, I'm going to Kenwood to play basketball and off to college. But my father and the teachers saw something I didn't see at 13 years old, an adolescent mind. And they knew better. So one day he gets this call, and he has a look on his face like, I knew I was in trouble. He didn't whoop me much, but I knew that look. And so he's like, he hangs up the phone and he's like, so you know you'll be in that class come Monday, right? I was like, yes, sir. And so they sent me, subsequently, I went to Culver Military Academy, $17,000 a year to go to high school. I don't look like my story. How did I end up in jail? We'll get to that, right? And the experience at Culver was a young man that came from poverty and was thrust into this affluent world. And I didn't have the support system. My family couldn't come up as much as I would like, and I didn't have the support system that I would have liked going there. And I looked at it as a punishment more so than an opportunity. Because once again, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Culver. And so I ended up getting kicked out my senior year. I come to CPS. And I found out very quickly CPS is failing us. I don't even remember a homework assignment my entire senior year. I was used to 2 to 3 hours of homework. And I talked to these young people, and I just put a post up on Instagram that was talking about one bad decision. And I decided my senior year, I made a poor decision not to use a condom, end up having a child. And that changed the trajectory of my life for the rest of my life. So I graduate from Wendell Phillips, and I go to get accepted to UIC for college. but my daughter can't eat a college education. That one bad decision, I end up making a decision to sell drugs at 18. From 18 to 26, 3 years removed from private boarding school. I'm one of the biggest drug dealers in Chicago on 35th and State in the projects. I then went from Culver Military Academy, made a bad decision, get kicked out, and now I'm doing $30,000 a day in heroin sales. It's facts. I don't glorify the things I've done. This ain't even a crowd to glorify it with. So, as a matter of fact, $30,000 a day in heroin sales, and y'all saying, how did this young man end up of one bad decision? My daughter couldn't eat a college education. I got accepted to UIC for academics, made a poor decision, and 18 years later, I'm still living with that poor decision. So, 18 to 26, I destroyed lives. 26 to 34, 26, I'm standing in front of a federal judge. They offering me 30 years for a total of like 4 ounces of crack. And it was a mandatory minimum that I get 10 years, but I done took my fool self out to South Dakota from Chicago. Once again, doing what I want to do. And they have a zero tolerance. It's not like Chicago. They got a zero tolerance. It's a sign in South Dakota that says, come on vacation, leave on probation. They don't play. I disregarded the sign. I knew I should have turned my butt around. So, come on vacation, leave on probation. Well, I didn't see Chicago for 8 years. Mandatory minimum. And this is why you have to humanize people. For like 90 days, they had 30 years on the books for me. And this before, at this time, mandatory minimums for crack was 1 to 100. This before we start humanizing people and figuring out that, hey, crack is the same as cocaine. It's just different because the affluent people use powder cocaine and the poor people use crack. Really no difference. Still cocaine. Why is it that one is 100 to 1 and, mandatory minimum, I end up writing my judge because I had to humanize myself. Got my kids, my daughter was 7 and my son was 4. I didn't come home until they was 12 and 15. So, poor decision. And looking back, I'm gonna read off these notes because I want to make sure I hit these points. So, I end up doing 8 years in jail. From 26 to 34, I'm federally incarcerated. About my family, my mom was a single parent, and I'm the oldest of 4 kids. She was in a domestic violence type of situation. She has 2 sets of kids, Demetrius and DaVinci, same father, Alberto and Sade, same father, DaVinci, Demetrius, Alberto, Sade. She was like Mexican, Latin, those names crazy, right? DaVinci. So she was in a domestic type of situation with my younger siblings, and my dad ended up coming to get us, helping us get out that situation. And my mom, the reason why I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship in our community and developing programs that are more sustainable than just welfare states, it's out of my personal experience of a mother that's been on some type of government assistance for 40 years. I saw a young lady that had the most potential in the world, but She allowed herself to accept government assistance of welfare. And, it affected her children as far as opportunities. So when I made the decision to sell drugs, I didn't have anyone to help me. And so with that, I saw a lady that had all the potential that just settled for what the government was giving her. So then my dad came and got me and my younger brother. He came and got me, I was 10, my brother was 5. He always struggled with dependency and stuff like that, but he was an incredible man. He was a Vietnam vet. He worked for Amtrak, like I said. And I look back on it now, he really sacrificed a great deal to come get us to be a single father. In our community, it's not that, he was abnormal in a community that most fathers aren't present. So I had an incredible dad. Relationships, what other type of influence did neighborhood peers? Well, when I look back, when I began to sell drugs, I went into the projects on 35th and State. Like I said, a private boarding school kid being thrust into an environment where most people don't care about each other, as far as they're just trying to get out. They're trying to make the best of a situation. And that's why it's important for us to humanize, and when you make these laws, to really look into the minds of these people that are suffering from mental health issues. We have a mental health crisis in our community. It's not ordinary, and it's not the order of nature to bury your child. Children are supposed to bury their parents. You're not supposed to bury a friend every other week. These children are suffering. These parents are suffering. We have a mental health issue in our community that we're not addressing. Hurt people are hurting people. And then couple that with the fact that resources aren't coming into the community. 3500 North State looks very different than 4300 South. And you could tell by the resources. You could tell, it's a tale of two cities. Summertime Chi down here is lit. Summertime Chi in our neighborhood is a nightmare. We damn near want winter to come back. Grabs that. Down here, they walk around, they have opportunities. The kids get to play, they walking dogs. They kicking each other, they playing and running around. We can't do that in our community. And Chicago is a tale of two cities, because guess what? If we don't understand that we have to take care of the lowest of us in order for the whole environment to be safer, it started affecting us. Because guess what? That Gold Coast and that downtown is stretching south. There ain't enough room to keep the affluent people in one neighborhood, and the segregation, and because y'all see it now. It's a lot going on with the pregnant lady that just was placed on her stomach, pregnant, and 3 young men got out the car and carjacked her. These young men that are suffering are 10 minutes away from the affluent people down here. And I need y'all to get that, because I need y'all to understand that we have to take care of the lowest. If you're religious, if you believe in people and you care about people, some of those resources from this area have to trickle to the other areas. Or those problems from those other areas is going to be your problems in these areas. Because the city, boy, when somebody down here get carjacked or shot, the city is shaking up. But it's just over the weekend, 49 people got shot and 7 was murdered 10 minutes away. I need y'all to understand that as well. What's the difference? Resources, opportunity. 40, 50 schools got closed in our community. They building schools down here. These kids and these young men feel like we don't care about them. So why should they care about life? And I see a lot of faces in here, but I don't see them on the block. But y'all are the people that are making decisions and making laws and legislation that affecting the lives of people that you don't even engage. That's a problem for me. I go out my way to talk to these young men. I go out my way to talk to these young men, and they're dying. And y'all are sitting in these rooms, and it's not affecting you. But y'all are making laws and policies that are affecting their lives. But y'all don't come out these rooms to engage them. When the last time, if you're a legislator, that you walked in a house in Inglewood? When the last time you got out of your comfort zone and your affluent office and your views to talk to the people that y'all are in these rooms discussing? Because I never see the community in these rooms. We talk about tables, we talk about galas, we talk about panel discussions, and it's for the community, but the community's never here. They're never here. I have a problem with that. I'm different. I'm a unicorn in my community. I can put on this suit, but I'm just as gangster and just as thug as you want to have it when need be. I just know how to put on this suit and come in this room and be articulate and intelligent enough to give you a presentation and a truth that you can be receptive with. Because the way I talk to them down there, who gave me the warning? What's your name? All right, time's up. But we got to have these harsh truths. No, I'm not going to curse. No, I'm not going to come in here and embarrass my community. But what I am going to do is give you truth. And the fact that y'all are failing us. Our community is not holding itself accountable, and I need y'all to get out these rooms. And I need some of these forums to be in our community so our people that can't afford to come in these rooms and can't afford to get here, y'all come to them. Y'all talking about them. Y'all making policies and laws about them. Come to us. Why do we have to go out our way to come to y'all? Y'all getting all the money. 501c3s is profitable in our community, but not for us. It almost need to be checks and balances on 501c3s, checks and balances on churches. Because y'all been in our community 50, 60 years, and our community has been failing since Martin Luther King has died. So my time is up. Thank you, guys. I love you.